Hello, 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 hello. Oh, you guys are well. Hello, hello, hello. Oh, you guys are well. Okay. Hear myself. Down just a wee. On slots. Come on, slots. Come on. How am I not winning, bro? How? We are playing some more chess today. Second day of playing chess. It should be interesting. I'm still learning. See how it goes, but put my mouse somewhere. We're doing the lessons that chess.com's actually. Oh no, Hikari! You did 100 points. That's a lot of points. That's a lot of points. That's a lot of yoinkies gone down the drain. Yeah, we're going to learn how to play chess one time. I should have this not. Oh, I'm not logged in. Also, I'm not showing anything, but what happens if I do that? Hold on. Good, nothing. Ha! Log in. I don't want people seeing my password. Oh, I think I pressed the wrong button. You did not saw. Didn't saw. Saw nothing. Okay. You've seen nothing. Okay, good. We have completed the first lesson. Finished a few of the most of these apparently.
Stalemate is just one of the possible ways to end the game in a tie. Another way is to simply agree to a draw. This might happen if neither player can see a way to victory. One person offers the draw, and the other can accept or decline. Another way to get a draw is if the exact same position is repeated 3 times. After 3 repetitions, either player can claim a draw when it is their turn to move. Or, if you're playing online, a draw will automatically be called after 3 repetitions.
Why is it
Another
automatic?
way to draw is if neither player has enough pieces to checkmate, like lone king versus lone king. You'll learn more about this later. Finally, you can also draw if 50 pairs of moves have been played on the board without any captures or pawn moves. This keeps you from dying of boredom as you and your opponent move your rooks back and forth forever. Now it's your turn to practice drawn positions.
Okay. We have entered a completely drawn endgame. Can you find the move that would immediately forces a off for white? Ah, I see, because it's just 2 kings left. Looks like white is winning, but can you find a way to block the position? Pawn moves. Yeah. Just silly. But then it's effectively just 2 kings left over. Pawns are technically. White is down a rook for a pawn, but the pawn. Can you draw for white? No. Interesting. I wonder if wait, what? Oh, and then I do that, and that's technically that's why I hadn't completed yet. White's rook is under attack, and black is ready to their pawn. And you find that forces a draw. We're playing black? Oh no, we're not. Find a sacrifice, draw for a while. King and a bishop cannot create a checkmate without other pieces. Oh! Didn't know that. Interesting. White is down material, but force a repetition making a series of checks that black can't escape. Oh. So that's just a draw? Gross. I wonder how you would avoid that. Draws seem really annoying.
One of the most unusual rules of chess is called castling. This move was invented to speed up the game.
Oh yeah, we haven't learned about this yet.
Once. When you castle, your king moves toward the safety of the corner, and your rook comes toward the action in the middle. You literally are moving two pieces at once, but it counts as just one move. You can castle in either direction, left or right. In either case, your king moves over only two squares, and then the rook from that side is moved directly to the other side of the king. Like this. And here's another example of castling. Let's say you're playing a game right here on chess.com. Here are two ways you can make the castling move. The first option is to drag the king to the square where it will castle, and then the rook will automatically move. Like this. Another option is to click the square the king is currently on, in this case e8, and then the square where you will move the king, g8. So we click e8, followed by g8, and now we're castled.
Isn't that just how you can move any piece?
Castling is a great move with many benefits if it is used at the right time. However, there are a few conditions that may prevent you from castling. First off, you cannot castle when you are in check. You must first deal with the check before trying to castle. Secondly, you cannot castle if your king would castle through a check, or after castling, your king would land into a check. Next, you cannot castle if there are any pieces in between your king and your rook. It must be completely empty. In this position, both white and black have to move one piece before they're able to castle. After knight f3 and bishop c5, for example, both sides are now able to castle kingside. What? Finally, you cannot castle if your king has made any other move before, or if the rook you are castling with has already moved. It must be the first move for both pieces. In this position, the only legal castling move is for black. Since white's king has already moved, white cannot castle. Notice black can only castle with the rook on h8 because the other rook has already moved. What is the notation for castling? It depends on if you castle kingside or queenside. In this position, let's say white castles kingside. The way you would write it is 0-0. If black now castles queenside, we would add one more 0. So it would be 0-0-0.
Weird.
One way that can help you remember this is notice on the king side there are two squares between the white king and the rook. Notice 0-0 has two zeros. So kingside castling, two squares, two zeros. Notice on the queen side there's three squares between the king and the rook.
Yep.
Queenside castling has three zeros, 0-0-0. Now that you've learned this powerful move, it's time to practice castling.
Okay. White is ready to castle kingside. Castle White's king. Analyze. We can analyze that one move. Oh. Since a king can't castle out of check, can you best way to block so white? Still make the cat game. Find a way for white to castle on turn. Does that mean it's white can't castle right now because everyone black. Can you block the bishop and prevent castle next turn? Can I? Oh, whoops. Oh, I'm silly.
The last weird rule in chess is called en passant, which is French for in passing. This rule was introduced at the same time pawns were allowed to move 2 squares on their first move. When that happened, sometimes pawns would move past other pawns without giving the other pawn an opportunity to capture, which didn't seem fair. So en passant was invented. Pay attention.
Oh gosh.
It's tricky. If your opponent's pawn moves forward 2 squares, which it can only do if it is that pawn's first move, and it lands directly next to one of your pawns, then on your next turn, and that turn only, you have the opportunity to capture that pawn as if it had only moved 1 square. Like this.
The fudge?
Let's take a look at that again. If a pawn is moved forward 2 squares and lands next to another pawn, that pawn can capture the first pawn on its very next move. You move behind the pawn as if
Can
it
you
had
move
moved
other
one square
pieces
and
before
capture,
its next?
placing it off the board. You might get some weird looks if you do this move in a game with someone who doesn't know, but it's an important rule of chess. Now that you've learned en passant, let's have you try it.
In this position, black just advanced the pawn to e6, capture its pawn. 6. Okay, capture. Okay. Weird. White has 2 pawns that can advance that safely. Capture the black rook. Okay. What? Fortunately for white, there are 2. Oh, they just want me thinking of other pieces when en passant. En passant. Is that like croissant? Alright, I'm sorry. Capture black's queen with b4. Why? Why b4? Black's pawn 2 squares first game on white, or is there another way to capture this better? Well, yes. I see.
Now that you've learned how to move, to capture, to check,
Just because you can
and
make a
checkmate,
move,
as
doesn't
well as do the special
best
moves in
option.
chess like castling and en passant, it's time for you to feel what it's like in a real game.
Whoa.
In a real game, nobody is there to tell you what to move. You have to think and decide, what is the right move? Should I move a piece? Or can I capture something? Should I castle? Or try to promote one of my pawns? This is where the thinking part of chess comes in, and you have to try and decide what your best move is. The only way to do this is by looking at the board and considering both your options and your opponent's possible plans, and then trying to decide which move improves your position the most.
Okay.
Sometimes the right move will jump right out at you. Rook h8, checkmate. At other times, you'll have absolutely no idea what the best move is. Let's see if you can find a good move in each of the following positions. Black is currently up 3 pawns, so Black decides to offer a trade of queens, thinking it will be easier to win the game without having to deal with White's queen. Black didn't consider what the queen was doing on the 8th rank. Can you find White's best move? The Black queen gave up protection of the back rank and forgot to ask what checks White has in the position. White only has 1 check, but it's checkmate. If you found Queen e8 checkmate, great job. This checkmate is known as a back rank checkmate. In this position, after Rook a1 check, it looks like Black is about to deliver a back rank checkmate. What is White to do? Well, if White decides to block with Rook e1, notice that doesn't help because after Rook takes e1, it's checkmate. Let's look a little closer. Can you find another White piece that can help us deal with the check?
Don't be hasty.
If you found the move Bishop takes a1, great job. The bishop moves all the way from the other side of the board to come to the rescue, capturing the checking piece. Remember, if you can capture a checking piece, this can often be the best way to get out of check. In this position, what do you think is White's best move? If you're thinking Rook a8 delivering a back rank checkmate, you have to remember it's not just your moves you have to consider. We also have to figure out what is our opponent doing. In this position, White's best move is also White's only move, because notice, White is in check. And in this position, White must deal with the check first and play King h1. Now Black has to be careful and deal with White's threat on the next turn. In this position, can you find White's best move?
I don't see.
Notice that we can...
White's best move. Where are we under threat of? Well, I think White's best move away from knight taking a1, queen, king and
can capture a pawn with rook takes e4, but then Black is able to do the same thing with knight takes a7. Remember, when you find a good move, always look for a better move. Don't forget about your pawn on a7. It's 1 move away from reaching the 8th rank. Do you remember what happens when a pawn reaches the other side of the board? That's right, the pawn gets a promotion. Notice the newly promoted queen puts the Black king into check and threatens the knight all at the same time. After king f7, queen takes c6 wins the knight.
Nice.
It takes time and practice to find the best move. Now it's your turn to continue practicing, finding the...
How about even finding the best move and knowing why it's the best move instead of just realizing one point? There could be multiple reasons why it's the best move.
Best move.
Okay. How should White escape the check? Excellent. White's queen is in danger. Should you move it, or is there a better option? No, if I take... For a way to checkmate... Oh. That makes sense. That's why it's a checkmate, is because nothing can take care of it and the king can't move the position that would have. Game has just started, but white's already has a strong move. Find a good capture. Capture. Give me a minute. I'm gonna guess this. Ooh. Yeah, completely trapped. Yes, very good. This will definitely help me. What's up, Penultima? Welcome back. Thank you for following the other day. How you doing? We also played, didn't we? And you completely crushed me. These. How should white escape the check? What are you up to today? How should white escape le check? I'm learning kind of more like actual strategy here. Not openings yet, I don't think. White wishes the black king would h8. Why? So white could deliver a checkmate. Find white's best move. Hello, Soup. How you guys doing? What are you up to today, Soup? You worked, right? What is the best... this. Is that he couldn't go here to avoid the knight, he would have to go there. Yes. Now he's in a more pinned position. Anyways, what did you learn since our last encounter? Well, not a whole lot yet. I've learned how to castle based on the lessons. I've only been streaming 26 minutes so far today, so I've only had 20 something new. We've learned about en passant and castling and what the notation for castling looks like. I worked and I'm naked with my cats now. Please tell me that you're just relaxing. No, don't tell me. Don't tell me, please. Just end that conversation there. Nice and clean right there. Okay. Can you find white's winning move? Yeah, there we go. Edging. Oh my god, banned. Ban everyone. Everyone in chat is banned. Don't.
You know the rules and how to play, but now it's time to see the ideas you have learned put into action in an actual game. In this game, we'll see how two pieces
Wait, we're just gonna
working
watch a guy
can
play
be
the game?
a powerful force, and that a king surrounded by pieces isn't always safe. Let's take a look. White begins the game with e4, controlling the center and opening up lines for the queen and light-squared bishop. Black plays c6, a move we haven't seen yet. The idea is to prepare the move d5 on the next turn and attack the strong pawn on e4. White plays d4, controlling more space in the center and also opening up the dark-squared bishop. Black strikes back in the center with d5, threatening to capture the pawn on e4 on the very next move. When the opponent threatens to take one of our pieces,
I'm playing with
it's
Coach.
natural to feel worried. Remember, it's okay to make even trades, such as a pawn for a pawn. What you don't want is to give away your pieces for nothing. In this situation, white could push the pawn forward with e5, white could capture the pawn on d5, or, as in the game, protect the pawn and develop a piece with knight to c3. After d takes e4, knight takes e4, white's knight recaptures the pawn and moves direct.
Not gonna lie, I do feel like right now is around the perfect time to learn and adopt an opening. Why? Why now? Why specifically now? Because it's the eclipse today? Because I'm gonna feel that extra power? Feeling powered up?
Directly into the center. Black now plays knight to d7, developing a
Please
knight
explain.
and also preparing the next move, knight g to f6, with
Whoa,
the idea
whoa.
that
Back
if
up,
the-
back up, back up.
and also
What are we doing here?
preparing the Black now plays knight to d7, developing a knight
Wait, what?
directly into the center e4 with knight to c3. White could capture the pawn on d5, or, as in the game, protect the pawn and develop a piece with knight to c3. After d takes
Already learned all the basics. All you need to do is actually play to actually play decently is an O. Oh,
e4,
I see.
knight takes.
There's an eclipse here. I have pictures. I mean, it's not like it's like a 20% or 15% eclipse, but yeah,
e4.
getting 50% of that juice. And tactics training and anti-blundering measures. Well, you mentioned the other day, right, that my steps should go. I assume this is anti-blunder. Steps should go. Am I going to get checked? What was the second step? Can I check or defend? I assume. I've kind of forgot.
White's knight recaptures
But
the
you had sort of a laundry list of steps to go through.
pawn and moves directly into the center. Black now plays knight to d7, developing a knight and
X captures attack.
also
Yeah.
preparing the next move,
I knew it was
G
something like
to
that, you know.
f6, with the idea that if the knight gets captured, Black is ready to recapture the knight, like that. The drawback to this move is the light-squared bishop is blocked, and also notice Black's king has no moves. We'll take a look and see if that becomes a problem. White plays bishop to c4, activating the bishop to a powerful diagonal,
Yes,
and
yes.
as you know, pointing at the weakest point in Black's camp, f7.
Oh,
Black plays knight g to f6, attacking White's knight, and White plays knight to g5, avoiding the knight's attack and joining the light-squared bishop in attacking the f7 square.
oh. Is this
this
like an
position-
opening?
Black should play e6, blocking the light-squared bishop's path to the f7 square, but Black does not have
Knight to d7 game? What do you mean?
a sense of danger in the
I knew it! I knew it! Wait, what? Sorry, I had to look at the text real quick.
position and
Wow.
plays h6, attacking the
You're
knight
very
and
knowledgeable.
assuming that it's going to move backwards. Can you find the move that immediately wins the game for White?
Can I find the move? Wait. Yeah, if he was to take this pawn right here, nobody could take him except for the king to take the knight, and then, but that would move him into checkmate, I assume. Who you texting? Is it a girl? Okay, you know I'm married. 1, 2. It's my dad. Nothing fishy. He's talking about the eclipse. Or no, excuse me, he's talking about 3D. Massive nerd. I'm guessing that the move here is knight to f7.
That's right. Bishop takes f7.
Or bishop. I guess it
White
doesn't matter.
delivers checkmate,
Either one would work, potentially.
threatening to capture the king on the
Or would
next
it?
turn, and notice Black's king is surrounded, or should we say smothered,
He's talking to a man. Kappa Pride.
by its own pieces. It cannot escape the attack.
That's right. You don't realize, though, that by calling my dad a man, you're calling me a man, because I also 3D print and look at the eclipse and giant nerd.
You've learned a lot so far. Can you put your ideas into action? Let's prove it in the challenges.
You did, Soup. Question answered. Okay, challenges. I like challenges. Let's go. Let's open the game by moving the pawn in front of White's king to move ahead. Okay, you're just gonna tell me how to play? Wrong. Oh, that's queen. Oops. Yeah, we're big brain. We're big brain around here. Push another pawn into the center. Wait. Oh. Literally into the center. Oh. Literally in the center. Ah. See. Are there any good quotes yet? Nope. Nope, it's just that one. I don't have any good quotes. I'm sorry. I apologize. We'll add quotes. Excellent work. Now, White now has 2 pawns in the center. Okay. Black is threatening to capture White's pawn on e4. Can you find a move that flips a knight and protects? Yeah, this one. We're literally just playing the game from that we saw before, I assume. Ah. Makes sense. I thought the center was just like row 4 and 5. What? I don't remember that quote at all. Excellent. How can White capture Black's pawn on e4? Next. Can you develop a bishop attack f7? f7? No, wait, what? Huh? Can you develop a bishop to attack the f7 target and help control the center? f7 target. This? No. I can't. No, I can. No, I can't. I'm confused. I got confused. What happened? Attack the f7 target and help control center. Maybe e7? I don't know. Let me think, chat. Let me cook here. Let me cook. Does not develop? Oh! Oh! Maybe they mean literally just moving shit out of the way so that I can actually use it? Oh. Oh. Oh, my brain was just not working. Hold on. Hold up. My brain was just not working. Listen, okay. It's actually, I say my brain wasn't working. What I mean was my eyes. For some reason, when I was looking at it from this angle, I didn't think that this was F. I thought this was F. So I was like, wait, I can't. There's nothing I can do to block this piece from moving. But then when I would look at it from this side, I was like, sorry. These are just Johns. Queen E2 instead of Bishop C4. Queen E2. Why? Why would putting this here be a trap? Why would you do this to begin with? I don't even know why it would be a trap, let alone why it is a trap. Wait, are those questions the same thing? Listen, you guys are gonna have to accept the fact that I'm a dummy-dumb when it comes to this game for sure. I don't even know what I'm saying. Can you move the e4 knight to safety and join the bishop on c, attacking the f7. Yeah. Black attacks white knight, nice, with h6 pawn. Oh. Can you find white's winning move? Just the same thing from the last thing. If black plays knight gf, E or F, what are you doing? What does GF mean? I forget. Girlfriend? Knight to girlfriend 6? I forget. Which is the most natural move in the position you would be able of beating black in one. Knight to e6 check. That's the e pawn is pinned to the king, yeah. Knight of the g file. Oh, because there's two. I see.
Control the center, and you can control the game. We may have heard that it's important to control the center and develop our pieces as close to the center as possible, but what exactly does this mean? The center squares are e4, d4, d5, and e5. A popular, as well as strong opening move for white is to play e4. White moves a pawn directly in the center, controlling the d5 and f5 squares in black's territory, and it also opens up lines for white's light-squared bishop and queen to quickly enter the game. A good response for black is to play the same move, e5. By controlling the center, both sides prevent enemy pawns from entering their territory. If white tries to force two pawns in the center with d4, threatening black's pawn on e5, it's important for black to break up white's pawn center with e takes d4. When white's dreams of taking over the center with pawns have been shattered, so black should not have any serious problems in the opening.
Okay.
Is the center really that important to control? What happens if black wants to move pawns on the edge of the board, such as a6? Pawn moves are important when they can control key squares, especially in the center, and when they open up lines for pieces to enter the game. This move does not control an important central square.
This doesn't help
it only
anything.
allows the rook to move to a7.
It doesn't. What's the term? Develop anything.
Exactly improving black's position. Since black does not want to control the important center, don't be shy.
Knight of the g file to f6. Yes, move the knight to your... Why are you crying?
Let's take the center for ourselves with d4. White's pawn duo control key squares in black's camp, c5, d5, e5, and f5. Making it difficult for black to activate pieces on these squares. If black continues to make meaningless pawn moves such as h6, black has no central control, and besides the pawns, only 4 pieces can move. The knights, which were already able to move at the start of the game, and each rook only has 1 square. Not a good start to the game for black. White's pieces, on the other hand, enjoy great freedom. White's queen and 2 bishops enjoy open lines, and white's knights are ready to jump into the game.
I can't say what I was thinking, so I'll just say what I was thinking was funny, but probably very wrong to say.
Move like knight f3. What happens if black wakes up from a deep sleep and decides to start developing pieces toward the center?
Too late.
Knight to c6.
Too late.
Pieces need pawns in the center so they are not constantly attacked. Since black does not have a pawn on d5, white can simply march forward with d5, grabbing space and attacking black's
Say
knight.
it now. No, I'm sorry. It cannot be said, I think.
Forcing it to waste time by moving again. Black should admit the mistake and retreat the knight, but instead decides to move the knight to the edge of the board with knight a5.
Sometimes things are funny, but it's just over the line, okay?
Most pieces do not like being on the edge of the board, and the knight is especially weak as it only controls 4 squares. Compare this to white's knight on f3. It controls 8 total squares.
Ooh. Wait, controls? How is it controlling this square?
As many squares as black's knight on a5 controls. More importantly, black's knight doesn't have any safe squares, so white can attack this poorly placed piece with b4.
Poorly. The way he said poorly. Poorly. Almost Irish for a second there.
If black does nothing, white will simply win a piece. So after knight c4, black's knight has already moved 3 times, and white can now develop a piece and win the knight with bishop takes c4. Black is in serious trouble, but should at least try to prevent white's central pawns from advancing with d6. Instead, black plays knight f6. Knights love to be close to the center of the board, but you have to prevent enemy pawns from attacking them. Since black has not controlled the center with pawns, how can white gain space and attack black's knight? That's right, once again by advancing a center pawn with e5.
Yes.
Black should once again retreat the knight, admitting another mistake, but decides to lunge forward with knight g4. Notice most of black's escape squares are controlled by pawns. Even black's pawn on h6 prevents a potential knight retreat. How can white win more material?
How can white win more material? You think? Let me think about this for a sec. Oh, okay, I see. Yes, I understand. How can I develop this even more? Wait. There are options, aren't there? Queen to d4? Let's see.
If you found h3...
Nope. Oh. Yeah. Forcing him to move. Why move the queen when literally this pawn can do this?
Nice work.
I like the queen, okay? I'm a... I respect women.
If black takes the e5 pawn, white simply captures it with the knight on f3. If black plays knight takes f2, at least grabbing a pawn before losing the knight, white should not be afraid to move the king. Let's win material with king takes f2. By controlling the center with pawns and actively developing pieces toward the center, white took advantage of black's careless play and is simply up 2 pieces with an excellent position. Now it's time to practice taking over the center in the challenges.
You guys just watch. Watch the space. Okay, we get to play. Oh, we're black now. Okay. Let's move our pawn to e5 to grab up our fair share of the center. Yep. Ooh. I already know what they want me to do. Great job. We do not want to allow white to have 2 pawns in the center. Can you find a strong capture that removes white's pawns from this? Yes, go.
Nicely done. White is not allowed to keep 2 pawns in the center, so black is showing a central and understanding. Keep up the great work.
I haven't figured out how to get Stream Elements to automatically do one of its own commands. It will say the command, but it won't also, like, you know, I think I know why they did that. They programmed it that way so you can't accidentally, like a super loop, get yourself into a loop. It just crashes everything. Element side. White is not allowed to keep 2 pawns in the center, so black's showing keep up the great work. Okay, how can white grab control of the center by putting a pawn directly below the board? E file or okay. But I think even like an amateur wouldn't just throw a piece out to block when they know that it's going to be killed, right? Let's find a strong knight move which develops a piece to a square that controls 2. Oh, strong knight move. That's here, right? Yeah. How can we... Oh. This? Oh. Thought too quickly. Wait. But black doesn't have any money. How can we gain space and safely attack black's knight? Attack black's knight. Oh. No. It's reasonable, but it's better to attack black's e6 knight. Oh. Ah. See, I was playing like that I would expect him to take this piece, forcing him to move. But that doesn't actually force him to move, whereas this it would protect the pawn at the same time as well as forcing the knight to move away. That's why it makes sense. D4 also is? Yeah, they kind of mentioned that. I see. E4? But I wouldn't really recommend to a beginner. See? Okay, we're learning though. We are learning slowly but surely. Win material. How can I win material here? How do I win? Question right there. That would not work. No. Why would... Oh, because he's protecting it. Yes. Ah, I have to think about that. Pawn can protect it. Let's think. Let's feel hard. Aha! Little bastard. X captures attacks, my dear. Black's knight makes one last desperate leap. How can white win material? Why wouldn't he just move? Oh, he can't move there. I've trapped him. My god. My god, bro. How can you prevent black's threat of you E pawn and safely attack this knight at the same time? Sense. Good move. Black's knight should have retreated, but instead it lunges. Notice this knight doesn't have any squares. How can we win this piece? That? Okay. Take it with a king. You guys hear my brain getting bigger? Kind of like a bag crinkling.
Black tries to escape by moving. Can you find
trap blacks? Does anyone want to play after this? I think once I've done this challenge, I can open it up to playing some. Black tries to escape by moving knight to the edge. Can you find a way to trap black's? That trap it? Can't go there if I take this and force him out. Can't go there. He can't go there. He can't go there. Yes. Yes. Okay. If he goes here, then he's just dead. Big peepee energy. But you gotta learn an opening first. What do you mean? We're learning opening. Opening principles. Look at that. We're doing it. We did the first opening principles lesson. Doing it. Are you saying I should complete this?
As you continue your chess journey, the starting position in front of us is going to be very familiar to you.
Oh,
but how often do you think about the board without any pieces?
I've got my steering wheel right in front of me. It's kind of, I should just move it. It's awkward. Oh, learn a bit more before we can play. Okay.
Look at a blank chessboard. What comes to mind for you? Do you consider it a canvas with unlimited potential, the beauty just waiting to be discovered? Or perhaps you see 64 squares, 32 light and 32 dark. It's very important to become familiar with the chessboard. Specifically, the chessboard looks flat, and all the squares appear the same, but not all squares are created equally. Consider the center squares E4, D4, D5, in e5. These squares are the chess mountain, the highest point on the chessboard. You want to make sure you have your fair share of the chess mountain, or inner center. And the best way to do that is planting flags, or pawns, in the center of the board. You're claiming e4 as your territory on the mountain. Black will often play e5, doing the same thing. The squares...
You guys want some different music? I'm getting sore on this. Let's see. Fair. Still calm, a little bit different. You have a song recommendation. Is it a copyright song? I cannot do that if that is the case. Typically I do not take song requests. Take control of the game by developing your pieces rapidly and watching the video.
Surrounding the chess mountain, or inner...
Out of curiosity, what is your song recommendation? Pretty sure it's not copyright free. I see.
Center is what...
Well, give me the suggestion anyway, because I listen to music on my own. Play Dog. I'm not playing Dog. Dark is the Night by Mark Burns. Okay. I will... It's not copyright. Oh. Okay. I will try it then. You know, I'm going to listen to this in my own time. And if I really like it and I decide I figure out that it's copyright, next stream I will play it, I promise. Sorry. Not to offend. Please understand.
What we call the outer center. You can consider the outer center as the chess
But I have
hill.
it saved now.
Not as high as the chess mountain, but
So
still
thank you.
elevated above all the other squares. When we think
Any copyright music that you guys really enjoy, feel free to suggest to me as well, because I like listening to interesting music in my free time as well.
Think about developing our pieces. Think about the chess mountain and hill, or inner center and outer center. We want to develop our forces to help control these critical squares. Now that we have a general idea of where we want to place our pieces, let's return White's pieces to the starting squares.
What would you guys think about dog cam? I have a dog just completely asleep right next to me. If you're for sure that's 100% not copyright, then I'd be willing to try it.
Let's pretend for a moment that we can only move 2 pawns.
Thank you, Hard-Boiled Soup. It's not really a song, though.
And the rest of our pieces only once. Where
I
we
don't
develop
consider
the
that a
forces.
song.
Thinking about the chess mountain or inner center, we don't have to hesitate to play e4 and d4. Knights love to jump into the outer center and help control the key central squares with knight f3 and knight c3. Bishops love open diagonals, so bishop c4 and bishop f4 are natural squares for these pieces. Take a look at all of the squares these bishops control in enemy territory. Castling has a very important role in our development. For this exercise, let's consider castling as the king move. White's king wisely evacuates the center and now has 3 loyal pawns protecting it. Castling also allows us to bring our rook into the action, especially helping control the center, with a move like rook e1. Now we only have our queen and rook on a1 to move. White's queen can be well placed on e2 or d2. Let's move the queen to d2. Now White's rooks are connected.
Song is Childishly Fresh Eyes. I will grab that. Wait. Hold up. What happened to my other song? The caretaker everywhere at the end of time. I've seen this. I have not listened to this. Oh, we only have like 2 quotes. What happened to my other song? Sorry. I need to put that in my watch laters. Okay, there we go. Ugh! Okay, let me finish what I'm doing here.
And White's queen backs up the dark squared bishop, supercharging that diagonal. Finally, we would complete our development with rook A to D1. Notice our 2 central pawns, knights, and bishops are all in the inner and outer center. White's major pieces, the queen and 2 rooks, help support the center, so in the future, White can start advancing pawns up the board. Of course, this is only a dream scenario, and our opponent certainly has something to say about this. So what does a position look like when both sides are following this strategy, activating their pieces and controlling these key squares? Let's take a look. This is a very typical opening position, and notice the balance of the forces. Both sides have pawns in the inner center, controlling their fair share of space. Both sides have castled their king to safety, and the knights and bishops are all controlling key squares in the center. With all this in mind, let's have some...
In my opinion, you should seriously consider reacting to all of Idiot on stream. It is genuinely the best piece I have ever listened to. What is that? Oh, everywhere at the end of time, is that what you mean? I see. Oh yeah, and then you typed it. Thank you, sorry. I have a funky brain, and for some reason I don't see words as acronyms right off the bat, like even if they're capitalized sometimes.
Some fun and see development in action.
I want to play!
To develop our pieces to safe, active squares where they work together in harmony. When one side follows this advice and the other side ignores it, we'll soon find an answer. After e4, e5,
I want to check
knight
captures
f3,
attacks.
White combines development with attack. Black's most popular and flexible move is knight c6, developing a piece toward the center and protecting the e5 pawn. Instead, Black plays d6. Is this a good move for Black? It depends on which bishop you ask. Black's light-squared bishop enjoys a newly opened diagonal, but Black's dark-squared bishop isn't exactly thrilled that it's blocked by its own pawn on d6 and cannot enter the action in the center. Although this move isn't bad, Black's dark-squared...
What do you mean by media? You're saying it's a video too?
Bishop will have to accept a more passive role than we would prefer. White's bishop on the king side has no such...
Is there a better move than Black's pawn D pawn to 6? Better move for Black than this to E file. That be to just mirror? No, because I wouldn't protect the pawn. Moving this opens up D-file bishop, blocks the F-file bishop. Is there one that protects but doesn't block? Wouldn't open this one, so it'd be kind of just half and half.
Such worries after bishop c4, where it controls key central squares and is pointing directly at Black's weak f7 pawn.
I see.
Black decides to develop the knight on b8. What is the best square for this piece?
Am I saying your name right? I apologize if I am not.
If Black plays knight a6...
What is the best move for Black? Oh, whoops. Cheated. Well, let's see what he
decides
says.
To develop the knight on b8. What is the best square for this piece? If Black plays knight a6, when a knight moves to the edge of the board, A famous saying is, a knight on the rim is dim. Black's knight only controls
Wait, why would he do that? That's easy. That would be an easy kill.
4 squares, and none of them are squares in the inner center.
But I'm curious. Isn't knight to c6? I mean,
Let's compare the last move with knight c6. Developing the knight toward the center with knight c6 is the
you're saying that even though he's teaching me knight to c6, this is not the best option?
best square for this piece. It controls both e5, last move with knight c6. Developing the knight toward the center with knight
Let's see
c6
why he
is the
says
best
it.
square for this piece. It controls both e5 and d4, key central squares, and controls a total of 8 squares, twice as many as it controlled on the edge of the board. Black selected a third option and played knight d7. The knight only protects the e5 square in the center, so it's less active. And now Black's light-squared bishop cannot move. White continues to demonstrate positive development with knight c3. And once again,
You said you are 1200 or 1700?
Black makes a passive knight move with knight e7. Instead of working together, Black's pieces are standing in each other's way.
1200.
Notice that both of Black's bishops cannot move, which means the knights would have to move again in order to free the natural diagonals for the bishops, wasting more time. Time is not on Black's side, and White punishes Black's poor.
Why though? Are you asking why I asked that question? Well, I was thinking if you asked that, I wouldn't exactly know how to answer. It's not because I'm it may appear as if I am trying to judge your advice, but that is not the case at all. In fact, it's kind of, I don't even know how to explain why I just asked that.
Development immediately with knight g5.
No, I mean, that's an easy answer, but no.
Notice how White's pieces are working together. The knight on g5 joins the light-squared bishop in attacking the weak f7 pawn
Wait a minute, whoa.
on Black's
Rewind.
side, and White punishes Black's poor development immediately with knight g5. Notice how White's pieces are working together. The knight on g5 joins the light-squared bishop in attacking the weak f7
Then the bishop
pawn.
can move here and
White's
trap
knight
the
on
king.
c3 and pawn on e4 join the light-squared bishop in protecting the key d5 square, which means if Black plays the best move in a bad position, d5, White can simply capture the pawn and win material. Instead of blocking this dangerous diagonal with d5, Black decides to play f6,
It just felt intuitive to
turning the
ask
position
at
from
exact
bad
moment.
to completely losing. What would you play as White? You may notice that the queen on d8 is trapped,
There's so much going on in this game.
so you could actually win this
This is probably overtly simple.
piece with
players.
knight e6 or knight f7.
I would 100% move here, because then if it's protected and I could take the queen. Wait, but the same thing could happen here? Okay, I'm interested.
But is there an even stronger move to play?
A stronger move. Probably bishop to f7.
If you found bishop f7, checkmate. Great job. The king cannot capture
Oh yeah,
the
I guess I just realized it's f7.
bishop as it's protected by the knight on g5.
Oh.
Black's pieces smother its own king, so it's game over.
Game over.
Now that you've learned the importance of developing your pieces rapidly toward key central
We're
squares
learning!
and using your pieces to work together as a team, you're ready to show off your skills in the challenges.
Start the challenges. You tell me, Penultima, if you want to play me at any point. I'll just keep going. White decides to move the knight on g1. What is the best square for this piece? Here? Once again, white has several good moves, but let's decide what the best square to develop our light squared bishop on. Ah. If I put... Wait. Why would it be preferable to put here than here? Oh, I guess because it could easily be blocked? Is that why? I just guessed. I put this here because I figured that's what they wanted. But I actually don't know why. Like, why not here? I know why not here, but why not here? Is it just because this pawn can block here and then it would be developed? If I was to take it, it would be under attack by the knight? Or is there a reason why this is the better option? My brain works so slow. Okay. Well, we'll go with what they say for now. Maybe in the future. White is threatening to capture our pawn on e5. How can black best develop east towards the center and protect this pawn? Is incorrect. Passive attack. Let's try this. Ah! If you play bishop to b5 after pawn c6, you are enabling white to push the center in the future with b5, which is not something. Yeah. Sorry, I'm sure you were just looking at this. I understood though. Let's continue to develop our pieces and focus on where our dark squared bishop will be best developed. Our dark squared bishop? Where to develop him? Or how best to develop doesn't mean moving. Okay, I think they're saying literally, let's go. Oh. My big thing is... You're good, Penultima. Excellent work developing your pieces to safe, active squares. But what does this do? What am I... How is this developing other than just get out to activate it? I'm putting their pawn under attack, which can't move unless the knight gets out of the way. Maybe that's why. The bishop of c4 not only attacks the d5, b5, returning that c6, 5 idea much more difficult, also enabling attacks on f7, pawn which is only defended by the king. Ew. That's why moving your f file pawn is such a dangerous early game, because then it allows the queen checkmate early. So they're saying if you attack, it's also vice versa. If you put this pawn under attack, you're attacking basically the weakest the weakest point in pawn lineup. I see. Black has developed both knights passive squares which block black's bishop and queen from entering the game. Oh, yes. Let's use our superior development and threaten checkmate on f7. Huh? Oh, yeah. I see what they're trying to. I see what they're trying to say. Bam, do that. That out of the way. Bam. Get got, kid. Oh my gosh, massive win. White's pieces have flooded black's underdeveloped position. Use our pieces together to force checkmate in just 2. Together to force checkmate. Oh. That's just... Wait. What can I use here? I can't really use queen. Defending my bishop here. Find white's only check in this position. Aha! By playing bishop c5, get one move closer from castling and control the center with bishop. That's why it's a good move. Oh, in the previous game, I'm sorry. General rule is you shouldn't play bishop b5, bishop b4, and bishop e5, bishop, unless if there is a knight on. Oh my gosh! Okay, you're exercising my visualization. I see. To back it up. So unless you're using your knight as like a sort of way. Okay. Highlighting the squares helps a lot. You strike me as somebody who gives coaching in real life, but probably has tools. White is dreaming of capturing your f7 pawn. F7 pawn. Oh. Oh. My f7 pawn. Okay. With the queen on the next move. Black has several defenses, but the best move is a strong pawn move which blocks white's light-haired bishop. Oh. Let's look for this powerful pawn move. Why? How does that defend from queen moving? Oh, I guess the king could just take it. Not a for them. Great job while this underdeveloped bishop retreating it to starting square. Now let's develop our knight to a strong square, which I'll capture white's queen. Okay. Ah. Excellent work. How can we develop another piece into the game and threaten to capture White's queen? Is that because I'm the first person you've seen on here who like literally knows almost nothing about chess? Were you intending on coaching me when you got here? Let's see. How can we develop another piece into the game and threaten to capture White's queen? That would not be good. Wait, why is this highlighted? Oh, they want me to move it? Huh? Yes. Aha!
Perhaps.
A new, yeah.
Castle early and castle often. It's a funny, but also helpful phrase to remember during your games. After 3 moves, White is a pawn in the center and developed a knight and bishop toward the center. What's next? It's never too early to make sure your king is safe, so a great move for White is to castle. Remember, this is the one time you can move 2 pieces at once. You move your king 2 squares, and then the rook moves next to your king, like this. Think of castling as building a house for your king. The king finds shelter behind 3 loyal pawns. So it isn't easy for your opponent to tear down your defenses.
Are you on a phone?
The other great thing about castling is it answers a question you might be wondering. How do I bring my rooks into the game? Castling allows your rook to move toward the center, where it can enter the action. If you were black in this position, what would your plan be? Castle early?
Oh yeah, I would try to move my knight out.
And castle often. How can black prepare castling?
I would say moving the knight is the easiest way to castle.
That's right. Let's move our knight into the action and control
I was actually right, let's
the
go!
center with knight f6. Preparing to castle and threatening White's pawn on e4.
Yep.
After White protects the e4 pawn with a move such as d3, the house has been built for Black's king. Let's move it in with castling. Both sides have safe kings thanks to castling, and each of the rooks used for castling are excited to enter the game in the center. Is castling really that important?
Seems like
Since
it.
our opening strategy should be to control the center, actively develop our pieces to help support the center, and castle our king to safety, we definitely do not want our king to sit in the center of the board where most of the action usually takes place. In this position, White is castled, but Black's king is sitting on a central file which is wide open. With White to
Now I just had a very, very odd memory pop into my head. I think when I was very young, like, when I say very young, I mean like maybe 4, or not 4, probably like 5 or 6. My parents went over to one of their friends' houses and brought me along. I don't remember what they were doing. No idea. But one of the people there was very interested to know if I played chess. And I think it was actually the first time I ever played. I don't really remember anything about what happened, except that he knew about castling and I had no idea what he was talking about. But I wonder why this like full-grown adult wanted to play chess with me. I think I was probably like maybe 8, now that I think about it.
To
I don't know.
we can see our rook enter the action with rook e1 check. Rooks love
Probably
open
checking
files,
me or something.
especially files leading to the enemy king. Notice Black's king cannot escape the center, as White's bishop controls its escape square. Black could block the check with the bishop, but White would simply capture that bishop, and once again Black's king would be in check. Black's only other move is queen e7, blocking the check, but now Black's queen is in danger. Since White has 2 attackers, the bishop and rook, and Black only has 1 defender of the queen, the king, White can play rook takes e7 check, winning Black's queen and checking Black's king. Notice black's king cannot capture the rook,
Yeah.
as then black's king would be in check.
Just a quick tip, during the opening, it is often not recommended to take the on e4. What? With the knight, the enemy is castled and you aren't, since that can often lead to early attacks from the opponent.
Black would love
try
to
to keep
castle
that
the
in
king
mind.
to safety, but since you can't castle out of check, black has to settle for a move such as king d8. Notice black's rooks are not connected, so they cannot work together, and black is down an entire queen. Now that we learned how much rooks love castling as they can enter the action in the center, would you believe white has an even stronger way to take advantage of black's exposed?
Even stronger. If I was to guess, I would say queen to e1, queen defends with no other option. Well, would that be true? Here. Why wouldn't he just move king here? Oh, he can't. That's so I was right. Queen to e1, and then they would have to defend with queen, and then rook takes queen. Oh, but then rook is here in the way. But king can't move here or here, so that's checkmate. Because if they were to try to take the bishop, sorry, what am I saying, rook? If they were to try to take the bishop, the queen would be there to follow up.
King?
I'm correct? Yes.
Instead of winning the queen with the awesome rook check, we can
If only I could think of these things on the fly inside of an actual game.
actually checkmate black's king in the center of the board. How is this possible? Our path to victory begins with delivering a check with our most powerful piece, queen to e2 check. Once again,
Wait, why e2 and not e1? What's the difference? Is that just because there's more options on e2? Queen could move anywhere along here or there.
black's king cannot move as white's bishop prevents its escape. So after queen e7, using our queen as an attacker with the bishop as a helper, we can play queen takes e7. Checkmate. Capturing
Oh.
black.
And not even using the bishop. They have the same. Queen to e2 and e1 have the same. Would putting your bishop here instead of the queen be a stalemate? Because bishop could not attack the queen, but the queen cannot move into check. So bishop can't really do anything in that situation. What's up, Bloward? How you doing? Oh, thank you for the follow. Welcome. Hope you're feeling exceptional today. You're right. But his pieces can. So then king would just be stuck there, but the other pieces could move. So actually, the most powerful move isn't to attack or put the king into check with bishop, but to I see. It would be the incorrect move to put bishop there, I think.
Black's queen, attacking the king and covering all of the escape squares.
And using bishop to just defend the queen if the queen is taken. That makes more sense. Welcome to chess. Thank you. I'm just only now learning.
The bishop
Today is the second day of learning.
is the helper piece because it protects white's queen.
I have about 3 hours of experience. Okay.
Meaning that black cannot capture the queen, so the game is over. Let's look at one last example together. Sometimes we do our best to
Teach
castle
me.
early, and it just doesn't.
How are you doing today, Bloward?
doesn't work out as planned. Don't worry, it happens to all of us. The most important thing is not to dwell on the past, but focus on what you can do now and build a better future. White is down a pawn, and black is threatening to capture our rook on h1. To make matters worse, our king is still in the center, and black's rook that was used for castling is lined up with our king. Not a good sign.
So castle to get the king away. And then if queen takes our rook, we can follow up by taking queen.
What is white
Right.
to do? How can we move our king to safety and protect our rook on h1 at the same time? That's right, we can castle queenside.
Yes!
Our king
Okay.
has escaped the dangers
Makes
of the
sense.
center, and now the rooks are connected, protecting each other on the first rank.
That's cool.
White's position isn't perfect, but it's a lot better now that we've
I'm
castled.
learning chat.
You've done a great job exploring the
How much experience do you have with chess, Bloward?
importance of protecting our king by castling. Now let's castle early and often in the challenges.
Okay. There are several good moves in this position, but what is the best king move? White. $33. Oh, okay. Well, thank you for gracing my extremely underdeveloped stream. Your highly experienced brain. Bro is literally Ben Feingold. I have to admit I don't know who that is. I apologize, advance profusely. Let's see. White's king is safely protected by 3 pawns, and the rook on f1 is ready to support the center. Lol, I am not. But who are you, Blower? Massage his chin. Taps thigh. Sorry, I apologize. White's king is safely protected by 3 pawns, and okay, it's just next. Okay, how can you develop a knight towards the center and threaten White's e4 pawn at the same time? Let's move our king to safety. Ah. Is number 1 a good chess player and 2 a good chess streamer? Ah. Very cool. So if people who have played 33 years are good, what does that make me? An infant. I'm just a maggot. I'm just a solitary egg in the proverbial horse crap. White has many options, but let's remember the factor in chess, king, safety. Let's castle our king. White has many options, but way first. Black's knight is misplaced at the edge of the board, but is dreaming of castling soon. How can we prevent the king from castling? Deadly check. All this move. This move also leads to checkmate, although we generally don't like to block our rook on f1. Let's find a slightly... Oh, so that is why moving to e2, queen to e2 is better than moving on, because we're connecting our rooks. 3 hours is like you just played your first 10 games and lost all of them. I've played 2 games and lost both of them. How's that work? I see. Now we can deliver the checkmate. Yes. Legendary. Send my queen. Yeah. Even people who are like very low ranked can easily slap my cheeks. So I always ask newcomers to chess, do you know the point values of the pieces? No. I only know, I'm only just having learned the basic rules, and the not a specific opening, but the what is the word? Why can't I think of it? Where am I? The basics of openings, if that makes sense. And then I've learned a bit of notation, but I don't know what. You know how you know the point value of the pieces. No, I know that as far as value goes, I know which ones are more valuable than others. Point value of pieces is probably essential, is it? For why? Black is threatening to capture our e4 pawn. With check, let's move our king to safety and set up a trap. Our king to safety. Black makes a poor choice to capture a pawn. How can we line up a less valuable piece than Black's queen on the same file as Black's king and queen? This is a trap because it's baiting it in to take the knight. But then there's a stronger move. Okay, let me think. Let me cook. Let me cook here. No hints. No hints. Let's see. Black makes a poor choice to capture a pawn. How can we line up a less valuable Black's queen on the same file as Black's king? Oh. Oh. Okay, hold on. The reason I was thinking this is like move this here and then move our bishop here, so if he was to... Oh wait, but bishop can't take king. That makes zero sense. If I was to move bishop here... Oh, wait. Oh. No, I understand. Aha! Yes. Pawn equals 1, knight equals 3, bishop 3, bishop also 3, rook 5, queen 9. So when it says a less valued piece, have the points valued in mind. I see. That makes sense, Blord. I appreciate that. So now the queen has to retreat. Ah. Wait, but now let's capture Black's queen. Great work using the castling. But doesn't that mean it could just take it with bishop? I mean, I understand that that's a fair trade, but I guess we're not going to care what happens after that. We're just trying to learn the basics. How can we move our king to safety and then protect our hanging rook on h1? Nultima, did you still want to play, or did you want to play? Not still. How can we move our king to safety and protect our hanging rook h1? Our hanging rook on h1. Oh, by protecting it with another rook. Okay. You don't think I'm ready. I see. White's position isn't perfect, but it's much better now that you're safe and you're connected. Is there a better move? No, because king would be in the way. I mean, I can't move my queen to protect. Make any sense? It's putting rook here means that if they decide to take this, I can follow right up, and then I have this whole file to develop my rook. Aha, I see, Bloward. So you're saying it's worth the sacrifice to get those points. And why are points important other than it just tells you how valuable a piece is? And whether or not it's okay to sacrifice it?
Winning a chess game isn't something you can simply make happen. There is no outright winning strategy or forced win. If you simply hope that your opponent will do all of the work for you and make a blunder, you won't win as many games and you won't get very good. The only way to win at chess is by playing with sound strategies and gradually making your position better until you have an overwhelming advantage or your opponent can't handle the pressure and cracks. The key to improving your position is making your pieces active. An active piece is one that is full of potential and ready to jump into action. When you start a game of chess, none of your pieces are active. Most of your pieces can't even move. Your job is to get your pieces into the game.
The only pieces that can move first move pawns or the knights, correct?
Game and put them on active squares where they can attack, defend, and improve your control of the board. Let's take a look at a few positions and compare who has more active pieces. Let's start by looking at some opening moves and see which side does a better job activating their pieces. White begins the game with e4, controlling the center and already opening up lines for the light squared bishop and queen.
Beard.
Black plays h6. This pawn controls...
Wrong, bad. We've learned this is bad. It is bad. Higher point values of easier to checkmate. So if you're saying if somebody has more value on the board, that statistically it should be easier for them to checkmate.
Controls g5, but does nothing to help with development. White plays knight f3. The knight
knowing that
activates
doesn't
toward
make
the
you
center,
win.
controlling the d4
Correct.
and e5 central squares. Black plays knight a6.
H6, yeah, seems
Developing a piece, but unlike White's last knight move to f3, Black's knight on a6 does not control the center and only controls 4 squares: b4, c5, c7, and b8. Let's compare that to the knight on f3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 total squares, or twice as many as the knight on a6 controls. That's why it's important to develop toward the center.
Knights seem really cool only because, like, I think it's kind of easy to forget what your opponent's knight is in control of, at least for a beginner like me. So it's easy to get caught up thinking like that you're safe when you're actually jumping. It's important to note, though, that only checkmate decides the game. The points value of pieces do not themselves decide the game, but they do make it clear. Yeah, I had inferred that. That's why I was asking that having more points doesn't mean win. That makes sense.
White follows this advice with bishop to c4, controlling the center and placing
Asking, not saying.
pressure on Black's weakest point, the f7 square. Notice White is ready to castle on the very next turn.
Glad I have so many intelligent and well-versed playing things to me. As much as I enjoy having these lessons laid out for me, I can't ask questions to this robotic coach. And a lot of times I have a lot of whys. So I really appreciate you guys. Thank you for the follows as well. It means a lot that you guys are here.
Black plays h5, moving the h-pawn for a second time, which does not control any central squares and wastes time that could have been used to develop a piece. White castles the king to safety and brings the rook toward the center. Black places a second knight to the edge of the board.
That's why it's like it's like important to have a textbook and a teacher.
Reducing its square control again.
This is like the textbook. I'm reading the textbook without being able to ask questions.
To only 4 squares, just like the knight on
Not as useful.
a6. White activates the rook with rook e1. The rook enjoys open lines in the center of the board. Notice the rook can help support the e-pawn's advance up the board in the future.
Oh.
Taking a look at White's
So you can use the point value of pieces to decide whether you should trade or not.
position,
Oh.
you can notice that White has placed a pawn in the center, has developed pieces to active squares.
Then once you kind of understand the value of pieces, then you're starting to like, not only if you have an advantage and if that means you should take more risks, like saying if you have more points on the board, it's easier to take risks than somebody who doesn't. So with less points, that means you have to play basically defensively, limits your options.
That help control the center,
Makes sense.
and White has also
If
castled
that's
the
true.
king to safety. Black, on the other hand, does not control
what
any
I
of the
said is
key
true, I
central
mean.
squares, has 2 knights on the edge of the board, and Black has not moved any pawns that would allow the bishops and queen to enter the game. White's position is far more active. Let's take a look at another
I
position.
need some water.
Take a moment and compare White and Black's pieces. Which side has more active pieces, White or Black?
Let me see. Hold on.
Let's
Don't
first
tell
look
me.
at White's
Okay, who has more active pieces? Black literally only has 3. White has much more active pieces. Unless you consider this active. What's up, AC? 2221. How much ELO? Yeah, I got 3 hours and 15 minutes of experience in this game. In chess in general, AC. I've played 2 people in my entire life, and that was the day before yesterday. I have no idea how much ELO I have. It's probably quite low.
pieces.
I'm literally just learning.
Notice that White has 3 pieces in Black's territory.
By the way, I
Bishop
hope you're
on
having a
F6,
wonderful day.
The knight on d6, and the rook on c7. All of these pieces are very active. The bishop on f6 controls.
By the way, Chad, if you're getting bored, there are slots. And if you're curious to know how many yoinkies you have, you can do exclamation point points. It should tell you how many you have. Yeah, gambling. So you can play chess and gamble. It's just slots. I've turned it up all the way so that the chances of winning is 200%, I think. Yep. But yeah, check your points with every time you spend time here or chat. I think if you're active, you get more points. If you're following, you get more points. Vice versa, and all those things together. Do you know about each of these in turn? En passant, I just learned that this morning, or today, I mean at the beginning of the stream. 2, the difference between checkmates and stalemates, and 3, under promotion. I don't know what under promote. I know what promoting a pawn is. Does under promotion mean that you're just promoting it not to a queen? Like say it's easier to, but a queen would be like just as useful. So promoting, I don't understand the use of that yet. En passant means that if it's your piece's first move, you can, or second move, if you move forward 2 past a piece, or is it just pawns? Say my pawn is here, and there's another pawn here that moves here, but then I'd be able to move behind it and take the piece. Oh no, it's when. So if I had a pawn, if Black had a pawn, say, if Black had a pawn here, or no, excuse me, here, and I moved this piece 2 forward, Black could take my pawn. It's just with pawns. Okay, that's what I figured. So if I had a pawn, if my pawn is here and I or Black has a pawn on f4, and I move my my G pawn up to G4, black could take, using en passant, my G pawn. But only on its next move. Only as the next move, or only on the pawn's next move? Like, for example, if this stayed the way it was for a while and I moved some other pieces, could I take it later? Or does it have to be the next move? That's what I don't know. I learned about it this morning, but I had no one to tell me.
There's a lot of key squares right in front of black's king. And notice the bishop.
Pawn on 5th rank must be on the next move. Okay, makes sense.
Controls the
So it's kind of like you can take it if it makes sense, but it may not make sense.
entire A1.
Otherwise,
H8
you lose your
diagonal.
chance. Yeah.
This bishop also controls H4 to D8, controlling a lot of dark squares right in black's territory. The knight on D6.
Right. So okay. So I was right. Under promotion is when you're promoting a pawn to something other than the queen, but I don't know why you would want to do that yet.
Is excellently placed. It's putting pressure on F7, B7, and the bishop on C8. Notice white's rook on C7 is doing the same thing, pressurizing all three of these targets as well. The only piece
AC, what
that's
is your
not in black's
ELO? Out
territory
of curiosity.
is the rook on D1, and it enjoys a lot of open
ELO?
squares. And
ELO? Do people say ELO? Is it an acronym, or is it named after the guy who made it?
also protects the knight on D6. Let's compare that with black's pieces. Black has no pieces in white's territory, and
Makes sense, Bloward.
notice black has 3 pieces still on the 8th rank.
Ah,
The rook on A8, the bishop on C8, and the rook on F8. The only piece not on the back rank is the knight on H6, stuck in the corner. Notice the knight cannot move to F5 or G4 because white has pawns that would capture that knight. Black's pieces are basically paralyzed. Take a look at the light-squared bishop on C8. It has one square, D7, and it's already protected by the white rook. The black rook on F8 cannot move to E8 because of the knight, or
Yeah.
D8 without getting captured by the bishop. The only piece that can move without getting captured
makes sense.
is the rook on A8, and it can only move to B8, where it's not really doing much. So to take
By the way, if there's anyone in chat who is enjoying what they've watched so far and hasn't yet, please consider following. We hit our goal on Saturday of 30 follows. I haven't actually set up a new goal. I might do 50.
a look at this position, we can say white has very active pieces and black has very inactive pieces.
And the difference between a checkmate and a stalemate. Well, a checkmate meaning that there is no place for that king. If the king is checkmated, that means there's no place that it can go without dying. But a stalemate means that either side can make a move that will make the other lose points. Aim for 50 followers. I said that just as just a round number, but is there a reason they have to aim for 50 follows?
Let's take a look.
We got a whole bunch of follows on Saturday. Let me set up a new goal. Let's see, manage goals. Goal amount. Start new goal. 50. Please consider following. Oh. I like rune color scheme. Okay. Our goal. Officiate status. Officiate status. What is officiate status? Or at times it's simply more advantageous or to underpromote due to special property of the piece you underpromoted to, i.e. underpromoted, so you promote with check. Ah? Oh, you mean like in the position that it's in, it would be better to be a knight than a diagonal move piece to force a checkmate or check. I see. That makes sense.
Look at one more position. Finally, in this position, is it clear which side has more active pieces? Let's take a look. Notice that both sides have pawns directly in the center, d4 and d5. Both sides have very active bishops. They both control kingside and...
Did my notification not ever go off for you, Bloward? I just realized I don't remember ever hearing or seeing anything. Bird box. I don't have a way to repeat it at the moment. I can't. Sorry, let's get to this lesson.
queenside space. Both sides have queens directly behind those bishops, controlling good diagonals on the king side as well as queen side, and they're well placed in the center of the board. Notice both sides have rooks on the c-file, enjoying a lot of open squares. The only difference between the two sides is the rook
right
on
here.
e1 for white has the e-file all to itself. Meanwhile,
Yes.
the rook on f8 isn't really doing that much for black. So black solves this by playing rook f to e8. Both sides
But-
have very active pieces.
But, he has this rook here to protect. What would be my move as white here?
We would call this an even or balanced position.
Ah.
Now that you've learned how to identify active versus inactive pieces,
By the way, you guys are all chess players. Are there any other games that you play?
it's your turn to practice activating your pieces.
Get some? Do I get some?
Banana chips. You guys like banana chips?
Winning a chess game isn't something you can simply make happen. There is no outright winning strategy or forced win. If you simply hope that your opponent will do all of the work for you and make a blunder, you won't win as many games and you won't get very good. The only way to win at chess is by playing with sound strategies and gradually making your position better until you have an overwhelming advantage or your opponent can't handle the pressure and cracks. The key to improving your position is making your pieces active. An active piece is one that is full of potential and ready to jump into action. When you start a game of chess, none of your pieces are active.
Chat, banana chips are so good. Oh my gosh.
Most of your pieces can't even move. Your job is to get
Skullgirls, COD, Roblox, Terraria, Don't Starve, Brawl Stars, and the list goes on.
your pieces into the game and put them on active squares where they can attack, defend, and improve your control of the board. Let's take a look at a few positions and compare who has more active pieces. Let's start by looking at some opening.
You've never heard of banana chips. Yeah, they're just dry bananas. Slices of bananas that have been dried out. Usually nothing is added to them. They're just raw bananas. But they're dry so that they can be stored without having... They're like freeze-dried, basically. I don't know if they actually are, though. But I can usually buy them in bulk from the store. And they're a delicious snack. They just taste like a banana. They're crunchy like a chip.
Moves and see which side does a better job activating their pieces. White begins the game with e4,
My god, this is a long lesson.
controlling the center and already opening up lines for the light squared bishop and queen. Black plays h6. This pawn control
8. What is your goal in chess? I don't know. What is my goal in chess? To have fun. To learn through things. Basically. I don't have an end goal. But maybe I should have an end goal.
Controls G5.
To be the world champion.
But
There you
does
go.
nothing to help with
That's the
development.
end goal.
White plays knight f3. The knight activates toward the center, controlling the
To be the best chess player in the world.
d4 and e5 central squares.
Now, a more realistic goal would be to get my first win. And then from there, I would like to play 100 games or so, so that I can get a more realistic idea how good, where I stand, as far as skill goes. It depends on how you have fun, Penultimate. I've played a lot of competitive games in the past, and the way I have fun is by being challenged by people that are better than me, and by learning something new. So I could be crushed every single game and still have fun. Also, how old are you? I started playing chess when I was 7, and yes, that does mean I am now 40. I am 32, so I am almost as old as you've been playing.
Black plays knight a6, developing a piece, but unlike White's last knight move to f3, Black's knight on a6 does not control the center and only controls 4 squares, b4, c.
I've always enjoyed learning new things, and I decided I wanted to play some chess.
e5, c7.
In reality, I don't think that I will be having such lofty goals as I said before, but maybe getting to the point where I can win once in a while against people that are similarly ranked as me would be nice, and playing enough games, playing 100 games would be nice.
And
We'll see how
d8.
we feel about it at
Let's
that
compare
point.
that to the knight on f3.
Maybe I'll have new goals
2,
by the time I reach
3,
those.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 total squares,
I'm confused. Haven't we learned this over
or
and over
twice
again?
as many as the knight on a6 controls. That's why it's important to develop toward the center.
What are your goals, Bloward?
White follows this advice with bishop to c4, controlling the center and placing pressure on Black's weakest point, the f7.
I used to play a lot of Overwatch, and I really enjoyed the grind. I really enjoyed learning something new each game. I would review all my games when I was heavily into the game. Well, I am 1563. My aim is to get to 1600. I see. I wouldn't even know what rank Elo I would, push. I don't even know what my goal would be for Elo, because I have no idea what my Elo is.
7 square. Notice White is ready to castle.
I'd have to play
on the
more
very
people
next
for
turn.
that to happen. But there
Black
aren't many
plays
people
h5,
I can
moving
play
the
at
h-pawn
my
for a
rank.
second time, which does not
So it would
control
just be
any
playing
central
people who
squares
would
and
destroy
waste
me.
time that could have been used to develop a piece. White castles the king to safety and brings the rook toward the center. Black places a second knight to the edge of the board, reducing its square control again to only 4 squares, just like the knight on a6.
I am learning. Maybe my
White
rank is a
activates
little
the
higher
rook
than it
with
would have
rook
been
e1.
now.
The rook enjoys open lines in the center of the board. Notice the rook can help support the e-pawn's advance up the board in the future. Taking a look at White's position, you can notice that White has placed a pawn in the center, has developed pieces to active squares that help control the center, and White has also castled the king to safety. Black, on the other hand, does not control any of the key central squares, has 2 knights on the edge of the board, and Black has not moved any pawns that would allow the bishops and queen to enter the game. White's position is far more active. Let's take a look at another position. Take a moment and compare White and Black's pieces. Which side has more active pieces, White or Black?
We've done
Let's
this.
first look at white's pieces.
I'm moving on to the challenges. I feel like I've accidentally started watching the same. You are 200 rated, Joe. Yes. But that's only after playing a total of 2 games. I can't say for sure that that is my real elo. I'm sure it's much lower than that in reality. I'd like to play at least 10 games before coming to any conclusions. But so you guys have a reason for to not do that. Can you find a developing move for black that prevents white from castling? Prevents white from castling? Oh, that makes sense. Ah. They want me to develop something. Develop a move, okay. Because the queen is already developed. White wants to capture black's pawn on c3, which capture must activate the piece. Hey. What? Oh. Ah. Bishop c4. What do you mean, Kappa? White wants to develop a light squared bishop. Best square for this bishop. What is the best square for this bishop? I don't know if sacrificing it to trade, not trade, but that makes sense? With the bishop here? No. Yeah, that's what I thought. Ah, that was my first thought. I should have gone with my intuition. I should have gone with my intuition. My first thought was to just move it to e2. I hate when I do that to myself. How can black develop a piece and block white's rook from attacking the dark squared bishop? Develop a piece. So exactly. Black activates the light. So that would mean if he was to take this bishop, I could take his rook, which is the same amount of points. So it would just be like a trade, I guess. Black activates the light squared bishop and is ready to castle. White now activates the bishop and threatens to capture c7 pawn. 7 pawn. Wait, what? Hold on. White now activates the bishop and threatens to capture c7. Oh, this pawn. How can black bring the king to safety and protect the c7 pawn in? Like this. Castling. The rook is worth 2 more points than the... Oh, the bishop and knight are the ones at the same point. Learning so much. You guys will have to keep up the persistence, reminding me of things. Black, you don't actually have to do that, by the way, but if I'm going... Black's rook need to invade on e. How can you these moves activate Wait. Wait. King's already moved. Does not activate White's rook and prevents Black rook from invading on anyone. Invading on E. Oh. Oh. I have an idea. What if I did that? Ah. This would be effective. Then it would activate rook as well. That makes sense. But also be able to attack their rook if they come in. I see, Bloward. Thank you.
As you continue on your chess journey, it's a great feeling when you start to win more games and notice that you are making stronger moves. If you really want to take your game to the next level, it's essential to start thinking about your opponent's moves and truly understanding their ideas before deciding on your own move. The most obvious idea behind an opponent's move is a check, such as Queen B1, delivering a check to our king. Since our king is under attack,
I'm getting tired,
it's
chat.
easy to react instantly and play King H2. Unfortunately, if we play too quickly, we risk missing the entire story behind our opponent's move. Before responding, try to understand all of the things your opponent's move does. Yes, Black's queen checked White's king, but was that the only purpose of the move? Notice Black's queen was also attacking the unprotected bishop, so Black can play queen takes b5. Black is no longer down a piece and has a good position. Let's take a look at this position again. Now that we understand that Black's queen is attacking both our king and unprotected bishop, known as a double attack, is there a way we can both block the check and protect our bishop? If you found bishop at
I was gonna say bishop here, so if queen takes bishop, king takes. That's a much higher valued piece. Queen being 9, bishop 5. I would easily trade a bishop for a okay.
f1. Great job. We block the check and protect our bishop at the same time, so White is up a piece and enjoys a great position. Now let's take our game to
Full disclosure, I'm going to probably finish streaming soon, chat, so if you guys are enjoying what you've seen so far, please consider following. We now have a follower goal of 50, and I'm going to, next time we stream, we're going to be learning some more and hopefully playing some people. I didn't get to play anybody today.
the next level and start to think seriously about our opponent's moves and ideas in the following examples. In this position, after Black plays knight b4, instead of immediately focusing on what we should do, let's make sure we understand the point behind Black's last move.
So they set their knight here. What are they trying to do? If they were to place... Oh, maybe they're just trying to clear a spot? No, not really, wasn't blocking anything. What's up, Rage Shocker? Joe's call was almost immediately answered. Well, I'm probably going to end very soon, Rage Shocker. I apologize. 5 minutes ago, maybe, but I'm getting very tired, and I need to end the stream and eat something. One time, please. You are decent? I am not decent. Okay. I will play you. But you should know, Rage Shocker, that I am very bad, okay? This is your first time chatting. You should know that I've literally spent about 4.5 hours learning, and I've played 2 people in my life. So I am an extreme beginner. What is my name? I don't even know. Who am I? What is your name? I took 25 lessons apparently just now. Play. Opponent. No. Okay, here's my name. Tompkins 1991. This character right here is me. Whoa, why is my elo up? Why is my elo up? You cannot accept this challenge at this moment. Why? Why can't I accept this challenge? Hello? Why can't I accept this challenge? How do I see somebody who just sent me an invite? Hello? I'm confused. I don't understand this website very well. I apologize. Blogsman. Send me another invite, Rage Shocker. Messages? I don't know. Why can't I play right now? Tell me. Hello, what happened? My internet just crashed? Solo chest. Chess. What? I don't. What happened? Is Rage Shocker gone? I got trolled. They just left. Oh, okay, no, Rage Shocker is here. I don't know what just happened. Lord says, I guess it has to do with settings. Am I doxing myself? Do either of you have rating restrictions on? What is your rating? Rage Shocker. I have no idea. Yellow. Boards, pieces, themes, live chess, daily chess, home settings, puzzles, lessons, computer privacy blocking. Following? Notifications? Connected? I don't know. What happened? You're 500. You're a Smurf. It's my alt account. I am doxing my... delete the mod, delete the mod. Do either of you have a rating restrictions on? I have no idea. How do I change that? Where do I change that? Blocking, following, connected again? Ah. Said I cannot play it this time. Well, what did I do to deserve that? Is it because I'm in another game? It worked this time. Okay. Wait, am I white? Okay. By the way, I don't know what I'm doing. Just for the 4th time that I need to let everyone know I have no idea what I'm doing. Be prepared. I'm easy elo. I'm 203. Your alt account is 4. What did I do here? It's unrated? Oh. So we won't be rating elo. I see there. What I want to do is something like that. Rage Shocker, do not go easy on me. I'll tell you real rating after game out, thanks. Do not go easy on me. It's not useful to me. No, not BC4. Oh no. Oh no, bro. Oh no, bro. Oh, I haven't protected my pawn. Mistakes were made, I'm guessing. Yeah. Okay, let me think a little harder about this time. My biggest thing is I just run out of time. There's so many things to think about. I just always run out of time. Ah. Let me think now. Okay. Feel free to tell me if something I've made is a mistake, by the way. But please do not tell me what move to make, if that makes sense. I appreciate it. But if I make a blunder, do not be afraid. Oh, that makes sense. That makes sense. This is why I wanted you to learn an opening. Well, that's how it goes. Sometimes you just gotta play. I will learn openings. Don't worry. Let's get our knight out. Okay. That would be a terrible mistake. I apologize, I am slow. I think what I'll do... I think I don't know what to do, it is. Yeah, I don't know what to do. So then I'll just have to make some kind of move. Blunder. Okay, why? Just because of that? Yeah, kind of, okay. A lot left to be desired here. Yeah, oh thank you. Oh, that makes sense. I had a whole thing going there and then I realized it made no sense. What I did. Let's think. That is protected now. I hate 8-ball. Will Joe stream more than 4 hours today? The unfortunate truth is that I cannot do that. Knight takes e4. Wait, what was there? Just a knight? Oh. D. That makes sense. I appreciate that, Rage Shocker. I've been taking the computer lessons on chess.com, and I've had a lot of very highly rated people telling me what to do, teaching me lessons and stuff like that. So that means a lot to me. Let's develop a piece. I guess that piece isn't very good to develop. Don't want to sacrifice my queen. So what I'll do... Bishop on Z24. Wait, what? What is Z24? Takes... What is Z24? I'm confused. This could have been a horrible mistake. Oh, yeah, shit. I keep forgetting about knights. See what I said earlier? Let's think. Let's think. Think properly here. Let's think properly here. Could be a mistake. I guess I haven't gained anything by doing this. Just trading in that scenario. And take on. Not. I moved my rook to here. Let me think. It's pretty dire at the situation, so I am going. You want me to move on, don't you? I don't have anything to follow that up. Yeah. Okay, we're just gonna have to do basically what you're asking me. Yeah, that's it. I just see it now. GG's. Chat disabled, I can't even GG. Thank you for playing me. Mate in one, yeah, Blord. Yeah, you're right. Because I see now, I see why that is a thing. So you put your queen here, and then from the only way for me to get out of it is to take the queen, but then that would mean putting my queen back, or my king, sorry, my king back into checkmate. Thank you, GG's. Thank you for the game. I think we're gonna call that the end of the stream, though. It's getting close to 9. I am 1980 rating. Damn. Let's be friends. How do I friend you? Thank you for playing me. You were my 3rd ever game, Rage Shocker, so I appreciate the game. What was, I don't know, I'm so new at the game, I feel like any advice people give me about how I actually played is just gonna be learn openings and play better. That's you. By the way, Rage Shocker, you are the highest rating person I've played so far by a long shot. I think the next highest rating player I've played against was 1700. Better openings. Oh, actually. Oh, 8 Ball's probably right. You need better openings, that's about it. Yeah, I think most people that are watching me agree. Castle early. I did castle early. I think the bishop, the F bishop to C3 was a blunder early, but I don't remember why. Let's review real quick. How do I do that? Whoa, 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 whoa. Okay, so yeah, so this was the first quote-unquote blunder. Why is this bad for me? Endgame is pawn promotion and the basic checkmates. I see. Opening is development of pieces towards the center. I see. I'm just curious about this first mistake. Why is this a mistake? Is it just because it doesn't actually develop anything? It's just kind of like I can't. If I was to take this, it would just be a waste. So there's nothing. Is that why? Positional mistake because the bishop can be blocked and targeted with e6 and d5. D5? Oh, so like neither of these positions is. It also gives black a big center? What does that mean? Probably because I can take it. How do you take it? What do you mean? With bishop. What do you mean you can take my bishop with your bishop? What do you mean? Your pawn. Oh. Okay. I see. So instead of F... Okay, so in this situation, can I back up one step? So, okay, so... E4 was my first move, and then you went C5. What should I have done next? Block with C4? What would you guys have done? Just out of curiosity, since this is openings and it's not like some amazing move. Knight F3. Knight F3 here. Knight F3, and that's just because it has really good control there. So if you were to put a pawn, I'm basically making it so you can't put a pawn in that position. Oh, so if I put this here, I've got control of all these squares right here. Not this one. What am I thinking? This, and this. But you can't put a pawn here either because I've got control of that one. Oh, okay, that makes sense. You can take on D5. With a pawn, but black can capture with it. Generally the best way to fight the Sicilian is Knight F3 and then put a pawn of Or in the move after that. Okay. I see. Raid Shocker, thank you for the follow. Really appreciate it. Hope you're doing exceptional today. GG, thank you for the match. Nice match we had. I appreciate that, considering you're literally my third ever match. Means a lot to me. I would have no idea how to analyze this further without help from chat, so I think I'm going to end there. I think thank you for the follows, Bloward today. I really appreciate it, and Raid Shocker. Means a lot. We are already 32 out of 50 towards our follower goal. Next time we stream, I think we're going to delve deeper into openings and play some more people. Hopefully just have lots of fun. Thank you everyone for watching. I really appreciate it. If you haven't considered it already, please consider following. And see you next time. Stay exceptional.